Hey, good morning. It's Susan Kennedy here, Channel of Light, bringing you a reading for February the 13th. And what we are working with this week in the lead up to the supermoon in Pisces is resolving and solving the puzzle of who we are. So I know that many people at the moment are going over and over things, are stuck in a loop. And we've got this huge loop that needs to be broken because we're moving into this energy in March, which is, as I spoke about last week, this kind of harmonic convergence. There is this massive opening, massive awakening. And already this week we've seen, let's say, seismic activity, which has always creates this sense of uncertainty, instability. And for all those poor people in Turkey and Syria, sending lots of love, lots of prayers, lots of healing. And I know as a community, we send that love and healing and prayers as well. And so one of the scenes from that really has stuck in my heart kind of ties in with the theme of this week's reading. And that theme was a beautiful little boy. He's about 2 years old and he was being pulled from the rubble. And as he's being pulled from the rubble, there's this eruption from the crowd and he just comes out really joyful. It's as though, I don't know that I've been stuck in the dark and I've had people dying all around me. And he comes out and he's just such a ray of light. And you see all of the, the men that have been struggling, they've got hard hats on, they've got dirt all over their faces, and they grab hold of him and they kiss him and they want to be close to his light. So I know that this week we are being challenged, you are being challenged or invited or encouraged to step into a new vibration, a new frequency. And I spoke about last week too, this new energy of galactics, this new energy of guides that are really with us at the moment. And I know that they're very, very strong. And so in that energy, they're bringing a new vibration and a new energy. And so for me, the reading this week is really quite different. I went, well, this is going to be interesting. So I always sit with my guidance before and I say, what do I need to talk about? What is it that, because again, I'm not an astrologer. I don't work the way other people work, but I just trust the way it comes for me. So I was being shown this morning, almost like when you do noughts and crosses. So I was being shown a grid of numbers, and those numbers are what we use this week or can use this week to bring more clarity to any issues that you have been dealing with or are dealing with. And it may not be an issue so much as a long-held belief that no longer serves you. I know a lot of people are going over and over and over and over a story, and a story of negativity or a story of, why did I do this? Why didn't they do that? Why did this happen? What could I have done differently? But they're stuck in the story. And so this little grid of numbers that I was shown was, how can we get people out of the story and into a new vibration, into a new frequency? So the first number that we're dealing with this week, or not dealing with, but are being encouraged to play with, is the 7. So 7 about openness, about trust, and you trusting completely in the path that you're on, but looking at how you can be more vulnerable. And vulnerability is that thing where we show our underbelly and we go, oh my God, I wonder if people are going to judge me. I wonder if I'm, is it okay to say what I want to say? Is it okay to not be perfect? So that's the energy of vulnerability that we're dealing with this week. And I just encourage you to really look at that vulnerability and step into it, however that seems, however that appears to you. So this energy of, complete vulnerability. The other number that comes in is number 4. And the 4 is about bringing new structure, new order. And if you look at what's not working in your life, if you look at things that, or the way that you've done things, and I'm laughing because the song that came in really comes in with this energy of structure. There's a song I heard this morning was the hippie hippie shape. And it's, and I always get challenged, don't I, to do a little bit of singing and a little bit of silliness. So it's, for goodness sake, I got the hippie hippie shakes. And part of the lyrics, there's not many lyrics in this song. Again, it's the simplicity. But the part of it that really strikes me is you get your fill. I have to look at the words and see what the words were, and I can find them. I've lost them. But anyway, the lyrics are there in the chat. So it's that looking, it's movement. It's movement, physical movement this week. So the 4 bring new structure in, new order. And that might mean letting go of things, but really looking at maybe the way that you do things, saying, how could I do it differently? How can I bring more joy in, more spontaneity? How can I move my body more? So if you've been thinking about that dance class, or you've been thinking about some movement, Tai Chi, yoga, get into it, make it part of your day, make it part of your new order. But bring that spontaneity, because the other number that came through was number 5. And 5 is about spontaneity, freedom, not being dependent on anyone else for your happiness. Now, we've got Valentine's Day tomorrow. And I know for many of you who have either lost people or lost love or never had it and despair that you will ever have it, Valentine's Day may bring up a lot of pain. It may bring up a lot of anger, a lot of resentment. It can bring up all sorts of feelings. And with the way the planets are aligned, because I feel Mars is very strong in the Mars and Venus, I think, are doing some weird dance together tomorrow. So I know that this will be a time when there can be a lot of uncomfortable feelings. But just work your way through that, through the feeling of spontaneity and fun. And what can you do that will bring that sense of love back in? Because love is already there inside you. It's just there, and it's just part of who you are. So the other number that comes in very strongly is 3. And 3 is the power to express, the ability to express who you are, your uniqueness, your amazingness, your ideas, your thoughts, your talents, your gifts, and to express that however it wants to be expressed. Because this week, it may be a different way of expressing yourself, differently to how you've expressed yourself before. So I really encourage you to play with it this week and go, if I was to express myself differently, what would it look like? Maybe you're used to, I don't know what you're used to, but whatever you're used to doing, either get back to it, let it evolve into a deeper level of expression, or potentially look for a new way of expressing your soul energy, your heart energy, because really that's what will bring you this energy of alignment. So, I'm always curious when I get these little gifts from Spirit. So I saw this grid, and it was 7, 4, 5, and 3. And if you add that up along the line, 7 and 4 is 11, which is a 2. 5 and 3 is 8. 2 and 8 makes 1. And that's that 1 of alignment. So this is saying, how can we align this week more? And that's the calling this week. That's the message for the week. But what I'm going to do this morning as well, so I really thank my beautiful friend Charlie. She gave me these beautiful cards to play with today. They're called Spiral Oracle by Liana. And they're not, let's say, a traditional deck that you would find, how sometimes you find those beautiful people that have created their own offering. Well, this is one of those. And it's an interesting and beautiful deck. It's got the dandelion on the back. So it even looks like the dark of the moon. Now, in the new moon energy that is coming, that is the dark of the moon. It's when the moon is not in the sky. And sometimes we feel very alone, and we feel very, we don't know, but, the cycles of nature are designed to help us to feel differently, to evolve, to shake things up. I live on the Gold Coast, and yesterday, I think it was 40 degrees. I went out to Sanctuary Cove for lunch, and I couldn't believe it. It was 40 degrees when I got into my car. And I thought, wow, that's, that heat can sometimes really stir us up. So we have to look at what nature's doing. We've got cyclones off Australia, and looking at the world map yesterday, there's a few cyclones forming. So Mother Earth's always shaking things up for us so that we can, really look at what we need to look at. So in the back of these cards too, the dandelion, which is that, what wishes do I make? So new moons are great times to make wishes, but this card just dropped out. So Wow, interesting. I always have to look at it first, sorry. So we've got an image there. I don't know how well you can see that, but it says the journey, and there's a woman with what looks like a stag or a deer. Well, what do you call the ones with the antlers? Yeah, stag. So that male energy, and kind of, which is quite interesting because we've got the masculine and the feminine here, and the woman looking like she's it's interesting what she's doing. She's kind of got one hand here and a hand like that. It's a strange kind of energy. But what I'm seeing is they're using her hand for healing there. So she's actually putting her hand out to the masculine to heal it. Now, whether you are man or woman watching this, you have man, woman in you. You have masculine, feminine. So this is us, the men amongst you that watch, is to use your divine feminine to heal the energy of the masculine. And the energy of the masculine is I have to do, I have to be, I have to, provide. There's all of this angst that comes with the masculine. And of course, we know that this energy now of awakening that we're in is about healing the masculine. But it's not with war fights war. It's with softness, it's with gentleness, it's with the power of our vibration. So if you are any of you that are healers, and most of you that watch this are healers, you may do it in different formats. You may do it through the words that you speak to your friends. You may do it through physical healing. You may do it through the creations that you have, the special genius that you display each and every day. Well, through that, you are emitting your frequency, you're emitting your vibration. And that's what it is that brings difference to the world. So that beautiful softness of the feminine is what is required this week. And to not rush into those around you that are in struggle, because many of them are going through this loop of same story, same story, same story, same story. It's hard, I just want to get through. And in that, there is maybe sometimes an unwillingness to feel. And so it is painful to feel, but the hippie hippie shake song came in so that we can feel things differently, so that we can, kind of bring mirth, bring joy. Now, if you ever look at people like the Dalai Lama, he could be talking about the earthquake in Turkey and Syria, and he would have almost what seems like a smile on his face, because there's a joy that exists within him. There is a sense of everything in the world is as it should be. And even though there is massive trauma that people go through, there is a divine order. And we're not always privy to that. But when there is tragedy, it brings the equal opposite. So it brings an opportunity for massive healing, massive joy. And I go back again to the little boy I'm not sure if he was in Syria actually, but wherever he was, he came out of the rubble. He was just this light. And his face was lit up and he was like, oh, there's all these people here to greet me. And, interestingly enough, that's what happens when we die. There's this sense of, oh, my God, I come out of this and I'm being greeted by light beings, by family, by, so many people that are there to help us and greet us and love us and keep us safe. So, yeah, very, very good lessons in that. They're not all black and white, these cards, but these cards today, this one, Becoming World. I love that because it's exactly what I'm talking about, is that you, I'm talking to you are the energy of the world. What your frequency is what is creating the world. So this week, more than ever, you may feel it. Now, if you are very empathic and you feel it in a bad way, remember that these things I gave you, the 7 of trust, the 4 of new structure, the 5 of freedom, the 3 of creation, is to help you know that you are the creator. So at some level, you have to be willing to let go of what you feel if it is heavy and transmute it through dance, through creation, through expression, through fun. Don't be afraid to move out of sometimes everybody wants you to be in the hole with them, and you don't help them. You don't help anybody by being down in that energy with them. And you don't even have to kind of try and uplift or fix. You just have to be you that knows that everything is in divine order. So quite an amazing week. Oh, and I love this one too. And so I'm just going to come back to this one, the becoming world, and look at the hands, the mudras. So the energy of using, again, connecting with meridians, connecting with the, because mudras are where we use our hands to create, energy, connect energy points within our body. So I would encourage you this week to look at the mudras that you automatically could move into, and you might say, well, what do I need right now to feel more and uplifted or inspired? But following channels of energy, because the grid lines on the planet are being I'm just seeing them being re-energized. So there are grid lines of energy that go around the planet, particularly around the heart center, I just felt. So I know, seeing and feeling, it's the heart center. And, what is it that breaks us open is tragedy and sadness, unfortunately. And when there's been enough of that, we'll come to a place where we can exhibit our joy and we can just be in that frequency more and more. Love this one now. The next one is the flower of life. So beautiful, soft, violet color. Flower of life, that energy of, the flower of life gets created from, if those of you that know about sacred geometry, it's 1 becomes 2, becomes 3. And then as it expands, it becomes this beautiful symbol that represents really our nature. It represents who we are, represents the cellular structure. So this week, really look at, being called to say, look at the hydration of your body, of what you can put into it that will bring you that energy of hydration. And this flower of life energy, the violet of transmutation. So transmuting what you feel, call on Saint Germain, call on the violet light. The violet light energy will transmute anything in you that is of that lower vibration. So it's quite interesting today that we're talking about vulnerability. And I know for me personally, I've had to become very vulnerable of late because I am changing. But on YouTube as well this week, if you haven't already seen it, there was a beautiful channeling from Mother Mary. And that is, in a way, me showing my underbelly and saying this is the first time I've done a live open eye channel and I've put it out there. And it's, it's hugely confronting for me. But I also trust and know and follow that this is the way that Spirit wished me to, to work. The channeling with Mary will evolve into channeling with other ascended masters. But she has a beautiful soft frequency at the moment that is needed on the planet. And I just encourage you to not be afraid of change. Sometimes we are hugely afraid of being who we really are. But when you step into who you really are, what you're really meant to be doing, there's just a flow and an easiness that comes with that. So thank you for watching. And if you haven't already, I really encourage you to subscribe because it enables me to make more and more content for you. And look, please put your comments there because we are community and I'd love to hear what you have to say. Love to engage with you in this forum. So looking forward to lots and lots. And as I said, there'll be a video posted later today, which will go up tomorrow on the super new moon in Pisces and all that brings. So have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I just got called to do one more card before I finish, just as I wonder what else Spirit want to bring through for this beautiful, beautiful week. So let's see. Oh, wow. And it says origins. So this is about really coming back to the family of creation. And when I see that, it kind of says to me that life can be colorful, life can be beautiful, and how can we bring it back to a sense of community? Joining with each other, supporting each other, knowing that our differences is what makes us unique and that we can learn so much from each other and we can express so much more of ourselves when we're not tied into fitting in a box that is, oh, this is my community and I can only express this here. So being able to widen your experience of yourself this week, and that will come in with all of those other things, the new structure, the movement, the creativity, and that all brings you back to a deeper place of trust within yourself. Have a great week, and I'll see you here next Sunday night for your weekly reading. Okay, bye for now.